Morning everyone, sorry for the lack of content, but yeah, that's sun. Yeah, I've been super busy, so today I just thought, yeah, if you're here for a video install, that's not what this is today. This is me ranting. I've been thinking about what to call this video, so I don't know what I'm going to end up with in the end, but we shall see. So let's I'm going to head down the garage first, get rid of some rubbish, and then we're going to crack on. Right, now that's done, let's get on with what I want to talk about. So first things first, there's four things I really want to talk to you about. One thing is, a client phoned me up, said they want me to go and quote to rewire a shower, or potentially rewire a shower, check what they've originally got, a new extractor fan, some new spotlights, and just generally strip out some old DIY wiring that was in an old little bathroom that they're having done. So I went there to do a quote. What I could see was, I'll show you some pictures at the end, but if you can just imagine this, where's my thing? I might even be able to draw you a little diagram if I can find my pad. So just to bear with me, if you can imagine the consumer unit, yeah, I'll draw it for you. So consumer unit, and then a cable coming from the consumer unit to a switch, from the switch to a shower. Okay, so consumer unit, cable running to an isolation switch, was actually a pull cord, yeah, and then from the pull cord switch it runs to the shower, which is here, shower. I'm not sure how other people do it in countries, but we end up putting a switch, and then we do have separate showers that heat off the heating, but we also have showers, and in this instance I think it was a 10 kilowatt shower. Okay, so I took I did a bit of quotation. I like to just check what they've got, so I took the cover off of here, and in here there was a 50 amp MCB, okay, on an RCD, 30 milliamp. Great, yeah, great. 50 amp, quite large. So I took the cover off, and first thing that concerned me was a 6mm leaving this consumer unit. Okay, so all I could see was connections connected into the shower MCB, marked up shower, turned off isolated because someone's already stripped the shower out. I'll show you the pictures at the end, but the cable was just hanging off the wall. So there was a 50 amp breaker in here with a 6mm in new colours, okay, brown and blue. So I thought, okay, so then I come and I can see this shower switch hanging off the ceiling, and in there's a 10mm in old colours. So immediately I think, okay, there must be a join in this cable somewhere. So I said to them, look, they said, oh, the previous electrician rewired the shower because he knew we wanted a 10 kilowatt shower. He rewired the shower and said he put a 10mm in. I said, okay, something's not quite right here. So I'm not connecting onto this cable. I'm going to quote to rewire the whole lot. So that's what I did. They accepted the quote, and I went and rewired the whole lot. And what I found was, under the floor, which was quite nasty, was this, okay? And as you can see, it's got brown burn marks here, and then here we go. So this is the 10mm, the 6mm cable that comes from the consumer unit, which again, worryingly again, it's in old colours. So there must be another join on this cable somewhere that I couldn't find. I did look for this cable in its run, but I had to do a different run because there was sort of laminate floors and stuff. So I had to find my own route, which I'll put some videos up of me installing, not videos. And yeah, you can actually see that's been getting super hot there as well. I'll show you that. That's been getting super hot there, super hot there. So that's a 6mm, that's a 10mm that ran. So all the electrician did was put this dodgy junction box, so it looked like he rewired this circuit in 10mm cable. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this cover off this box, and I'll just show you what I found actually. And obviously, if you do follow me on Instagram, which you should do, it's quite interesting. I post up daily stuff on there, so you would have seen this picture. So we'll take this off. Okay. Oh, first things first, we just need to check. We should have proved dead, don't we? Yeah, we're dead. So we've proven dead with this thing. Anyway, so yeah, look, you can see that. It's just dangerous. This was under a wooden floor, lava and plaster ceiling. Okay, so wood all around this, and this is what was happening. So this this neutral connection obviously has been super loose, and it's just crap, to be honest. So I thought I would keep this as a little memento. It's just actually started to burn the whole cable down its length, and there was also a 10 kilowatt shower on this 6mm on a 50 amp breaker. So you do the maths. You haven't got to be a genius to work that out, that this would have set fire before anything would have tripped, okay? And it was about a 22 to 25 metre run in the end, okay? So I rewired this in a 10mm, and I'm putting it on a 40 amp breaker. So we're going to see how we go with that. I can't see any issues with that. So this is the first one, and this guy is an approved contractor, okay? Obviously it's still he did it a while ago because it's in the old colours, but still he's still trading and he's still with a governing body. I'm not going to call anybody out and mention any names because that's not what this video is about. I just want to show you some poor workmanship, basically. So I'll put some pictures at the end of the video, so remember to check that out. Next thing I want to talk about is a lady, well, a client that I've done quite a few jobs for recommended me to a lady. So she phoned me up and I went round there and did a quote for her, yeah, just to replace some lamps and an extractor hood. She's quite an old lady on her own with her daughter living there, okay? So I goes round just to see her and give her a quote. She was happy with the quote, so she said, Chris, when can you come and install? So I set a date, got all the bits, went and installed it. She was happy as Larry. And then she told me a story that previously she's been struggling to get any sort of workman to go there, just because people don't really seem interested in small jobs, you know, which is fair enough. You know, it's fair enough. Not everyone wants to do little small jobs that you're not going to make massive amounts of profit off. But I actually like helping people and going doing small jobs, because you never know. I've done a few small jobs and they've led to big jobs where it's been good for me. I'm not going to lie. I've made money on jobs. That's what we do. This is what we're in the game for, okay? So I'm going to stop waffling. Anyway, she went to the shops locally, and there was an electrician parked up in a van doing a house down the street. So she thought, great, local guy, I'll get his number and etc. So that night when he finished on the big job, he came round to see her, and she said, can you just replace some oven light bulbs for me? They've gone. So he walks in the door and she says, do you know roughly how much it's going to cost me? And immediately she said that, he flew off the handle at her and he said, why does it always have to come down to money first before I've done any work? So she said, no, I'm not saying that, because this woman's as good as gold. She's absolutely fine with me. She just said, I just want to know a rough cost of what you think it's going to cost. So he said, right, give me £50 cash. I'm going to get the light bulbs and I'm going to come back and replace them for you, love. And you know what he did? He took the £50 and she's never seen him again. So in my eyes, that is just bang out of order. And again, this is an electrician, not I know, but I know of. He's local in the area, Oxfordshire, and he's registered again. So this is how these people operate. It's just a complete pillock, if you ask me. I had to go and do a quote to install. The customer already bought some CCTV cameras, etc. I did this the other day and it wasn't a very nice job for me, I must admit. I've had some bad jobs and this was a bad job. So I'll give her a quote too. She wanted 2 more double sockets installing on a next to an existing socket. So I said, okay, I'll quote for 2 sockets, minor work cert, and install some cameras, a little bit of trunking, because anyway, so it was in a communal flat area, which is fine. This lady's been there 15 years, okay, good as gold, never a problem to anyone. Recently she's had 2 people put in next to her, okay, so you can imagine what these sort of people are like. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but they're not very nice people, okay? So she's spoke to the council and they said, you're perfectly within your rights to put some CCTV at the front of your door, okay? This is in a communal area, bearing in mind, so she's only allowed to film her door. So we set all the cameras up for her, and while I was working, I was getting sworn at, I was getting abuse. What am I doing? Why am I drilling at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? This is outrageous. People coming out in their dressing gowns telling me I should not be drilling at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm sorry, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, why are you even in a dressing gown? Anyway, so I installed the cameras, I was clearing up, hoovering, and as I went to hoover outside, a lovely lady came up to me and said, I was smashing these cameras off here tonight. I said, well, that isn't for me to say not to do it, you know, at least the lady's going to know that you've done it, because this is all recording now, so she's going to know that you've done it. So they were threatening me, I shouldn't be installing them. They took photos of my van. The lady was on the phone out saying, yeah, there's a guy here, yeah, I'll see you soon, yeah, bye-bye. some big hard nut turned up and he did absolutely nothing, okay? He did nothing. He didn't even come and talk to me. He did nothing. So that's another story, but I haven't heard back from her yet, so I assume they haven't smashed the cameras off the walls, but I've got to go back and install an internet cable for her, so her daughter lives in Exeter, this lady lives in Oxford, so her daughter can monitor also over the internet the cameras, okay? That's another story. Right, and last but not least, I did a nice job. I did a good job for a client and he wanted me to go back. So instantly he has my number, he calls me, okay? So he had some tripping with an RCD. I fitted him an outside socket for his Christmas lights, okay? And some other work inside. It was a timed socket because he wants them coming and off. Saves him going out to turn it on and off, which is fair enough. He instantly thought that the issue was with the socket that I installed, okay? So I talked him through it. And we narrowed it down on the phone to either the Christmas lights or the oven hob, something in the kitchen, okay? So I went there actually yesterday in the morning. I caught him early before he went off to work, and we did some tests. So he said to me, immediately I go to the fuse board, I just take the cover off and I have a look just to make sure there's nothing untoward, as you do, and everything looked fine, okay? So I stuck my tester on the RCD, did an RCD test, it trips fine. Okay, and then I tried to reset with all the breakers on and the RCD won't hold in. So I goes and gets the client, I said, you do know this RCD doesn't reset with the breakers on? He said, yeah, the previous guy, okay, so this is an approved electrician, 9 years ago they did the consume unit. I'll put some pictures up, you'll see right at the end, the consume unit, and it was a big kitchen refurb, so they rewired the kitchen, a new oven hob supply, 2 supplies, okay, oven and hob, and did loads of work for him, signed it off, got a receipt, and he's still a member of a governing body now, okay? Bear that in mind when I get into this story. So I got the client, I said, look, the RCD is not resetting. He said, yeah, the guy told me that I have to turn all of them off to reset the RCD. I said, yeah, you do sometimes if you've got a lot of load, but it should just reset. The RCD should reset. There's no reason why the RCD won't reset with the MCBs on. There's only like 4 MCBs on this RCD split load board, okay? Which I thought was a split load board, but it actually isn't, okay? You'll see from the pictures. So anyway, so I carried on doing some tests. I went into the room where I did some work, and that outside socket is on that circuit. It's just a small office with an outside socket. So I set my meter up on a half times test and instantly it trips, okay? So which rings alarm bells because we shouldn't be getting trips on half times, okay? So what I did was go into the garage, turn all the MCBs off and RCD on, and then one by one went back and did some tests, okay? Half tests, until we got to the kitchen area, cooker, hob. Put those on, trip on a half test, okay? So I kind of narrowed it down, okay? So at this point, I do a ramp test on the RCD, and I think this RCD's taken a battering over the years. I don't know why, if it was ever installed correctly, okay? But you'll see from the pictures and make your own mind up. But it's tripping at 15 milliamps, okay? That's its tripping current. And generally they're up to 25 to 26 in my experience, new ones, okay? So this is down to 15, so it's not leaving him a lot of earth leakage, and he's got a lot of IT equipment, okay? It's a big house, okay? So we narrow it down eventually to the cooker, okay? The cooker. So I say to him, okay, potentially you need to get a new cooker. It's 10 to 11 years old now. So he agreed, yeah, that's fine, we'll sort that out. So I thought, I just want to check where the isolation switches are, etc. I just have a general look. So I said to him, look, I just want to check a few things out. So we take some drawers out, he's there helping me, he's absolutely fine. And then I find the hob cable. I can't find an isolator for the oven, and I didn't twig to me at first that there's one isolator, okay, next to the hob. So we isolated the hob, pulled this cable out, and it comes out on a junction box. Fair enough, not great, but not fantastic. Bearing in mind this hob is 7.2 kilowatts, okay? You do the maths. On a 30 amp junction box, okay? So I pull that out, and then I find there's another cable tagged onto it. So I pull this cable out, mind you, it's 3 or 4 meters now coming out of this cupboard, and I find another junction box with 3 10 mils going into it. I'll show you the pictures at the end. You need to watch the pictures at the end, because you'll just see what I found. So I'm thinking, where did this cable go? So we literally have to take a base unit out. We take a base unit out, and basically they cocked up massively. When they installed the kitchen, they he had pictures through the stages. They put a double socket behind the oven and were just literally going to plug this oven into a socket, and the oven is an 8.5 kilowatt oven. Okay, it's a double oven, so it should have 2 supplies. They wired one 10mm for the hob, fair enough, and then after that everything went just an epic fail. They then cut the cable. Well, they didn't cut it in the end. I found out they didn't. They stripped it all back, placed it in a junction box, 30 amp junction box, mind you, with a 7.2 kilowatt hob and a 6.9 kilowatt oven on it. Okay, and a 30 amp junction box, jammed 3 10mm cables in it, stuffed the screws in. They were not tight at all, and then they stuffed the lid on it, chucked it behind this cupboard, drilled a hole through a wall, and then wired this cable straight into the oven. Okay, again, this is another company that's governed by a body, and I said, can you show me the test sheet that he gave you? Okay, they never issued a test sheet, okay, for the consumer unit or any of the work they did. So he then proceeds to phone up the governing body, and because it's over 6 years old, they don't care. They said, well, there's no way of proving it, which to me is disgusting. So I then phone up the NIC and I say, look, what do I do? I found this. He said, well, I can't give you any advice, but you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So what did I do? I had to disconnect the hob, reconnect the oven, get it all back into the isolator, make it off safely, and so they've now got an oven. That's all they've got, no hob. So now I've got to go back before Christmas and try and change a consumer unit, rewire a new hob supply or oven supply, whichever we choose to do. It's probably going to be the oven because it's probably the easier out of the two, but the wife wanted the oven on rather than the hob because they've got a gas hob they can use for now. So yeah, it's just disgusting. The NIC weren't much help. They, you know, he said it's up to you to make a decision as a competent person. So I did in the end. I made the decision to disconnect the hob because I wasn't happy leaving it. You should have just seen the state of the cables. It's just disgusting, and it just really gets my back up that people can just leave work like that. So yeah, roll the pictures, I suppose. £6 reckon that's been getting hot, don't you? £10. Oh dear. Let's have a look what's behind door number 1. Oh, how lovely is that? Dangerous buggers, aren't they?